tidy street of the year. Really? Let's go make a mess. Oh, hello everybody. How are we all doing? I hope we're fabulous. Look at these houses. Aren't these nice? FTA? Glass paneling. Jesus, what is wrong with my tongue? Paneling. So in this video I want to talk about dickheads driving like dickheads, trying to kill me. This is a dead end. Oh, I wish I had known that before. So, as I was saying, dickheads driving like dickheads trying to kill me. The other day, driving home, I had some young whippersnapper in his hunk of junk Ford Falcon XR6 Turbo think that he'd overtake me because I was driving too slow for him. Funnily enough, I was driving the posted speed limit in the area. But that's not what makes him a dickhead. Mind though, driving a Ford does make him a fair bit of a dickhead. I'm going to find somewhere where I can illustrate. I tell you what, let's illustrate with an illustration. Alright, so driving down the road and doing the speed limit. I come around a bend, alright, then there's a right hand turn. So somewhat like this, right? Come around a bend, then driving along, and there's a right hand turn. I indicate to take the turn, right? And he overtakes now. You can imagine what sort of predicament that might put me in. I'm about to turn and he's overtaking me on the right. So I indicated and all that, so I did everything right, but this kid thought that I was driving like a dickhead because I was driving slow and he wanted to drive fast, so we overtook in a manner that puts my life at risk, possibly even his, and I sort of had to explain to him that the corner he overtook me at was the corner that one of our workmates died at doing exactly what he did. So, and when I first approached him, he was just being an aggressive little shit, to be honest. Frankly, because he knew he'd done wrong, but he didn't want to own up to it. He was embarrassed, I reckon. So he's gotten very aggressive in the hope that I would walk away, but the scrawny little turd doesn't scare me, so I said my piece, and when I mentioned that that's the corner that our workmate died at, he kind of shut his mouth for a second. So, but then the next thing, right, so that happened, and then the next day on the way into work, so 12 hours later, let's say, I had somebody try to cut me off and run into me again. Right, so again we'll illustrate with an illustration. Coming down a road, going to turn right, and there's a turn off lane, right, so I've moved into the turn off lane. Now there's no give way sign for me, so by law given that I'm on the continuing road and he's turning off of a continuing road, I have right of way. And you know, there's a lot of examples of these intersections, and unfortunately this person just didn't care, or didn't know, or just blatantly wanted to be in front of me. So I'm in the turn off lane and he just pulled out right in front of me, and I had to slam my brakes on. I had a Commodore SS sports wagon behind me that had to slam his brakes on as well, because I had to stop, and he was pretty close behind me, but luckily we didn't touch. And so yeah, that happened, and then I had to talk to the kid about what he'd done to me the night before. So I've had a brilliant week with people around me not knowing how to drive. So and it just does my head in. It's really not a hard thing to do. It's just not. And we all get licenses to prove that we can do it. So I don't know why people have such a hard time controlling their motor vehicles in a manner that is safe and congruent to life and prosperity. So yeah, that's my little story, my little rant, I guess. Had a bit of a rant about it. Just people not knowing how to frickin' drive. And I'd like to hear your stories. You got any stories of people just not having a clue how to operate their vehicle, driving in a fashion that's putting, most importantly, yourself at risk? You know, I've got no problem if these people want to drive like absolute numpties and write themselves off. That's fine. Go ahead, knock yourself out, literally. But don't take me or my family or my friends with you, because then there's going to be problems. So yeah, you tell me your stories. I want to hear them. See who's got the worst story. And as always, my good people, ride safe, drive safe, stay safe. Catch us later.